Karnataka is the fourth largest automobile producing state in India, contributing 8.5% to the nation's vehicle production. The state also has the highest number of EV charging stations, boasting an impressive 5,765 public stations. We were the first to introduce an EV policy in 2017 and will soon unveil a clean mobility policy at our upcoming Global Investors Meet. Backed by our progressive policies, world-class infrastructure and a skilled workforce, Karnataka is paving the way for growth in both traditional and EV sectors. Join us at Invest Karnataka 2025 and be a driving force in the future of automotive and EV innovation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Thursday afternoon's weekly expiry session on market today. So far, it's quiet as quiet can be, but what has happened is that the Nifty has slipped from its intraday high. What you see in front of you is actually 23,046. The Nifty is flat as flat can be, but what has happened is that from an intraday high that the market saw very early in trade today, which was something like 23,235, the market has slipped, and it slipped because yesterday's rally, which was fairly sharp from an intraday low of 22,800, the market has appreciated about to 23,235. So that's 200 plus 235, 400. Apart from that, there is a very sharp move that is coming into the entire pharma space, and that's led on both sides by large cap companies such as Sun Pharma. Let me just give you an idea as to how the pharma companies are moving. We'll start with Sun and then look at IPCA. IPCA is the top performer, up 5.5%, 1497. The market absolutely defensive as it can be. JB Chemicals and Pharma at 1694 is up 4.2%. Mankind Pharma is added 3.4% at 2,505, and similarly in top shape are Aurobindo Pharma, Cipla, Sun Pharma, Lupin. Lupin is up 1.5%. Early morning it was up about 6.5%. In terms of the top traded counters, let's shift focus to where you see volume and price action on the green side. It's Finolex cables, 10% higher, 973, on a very sharp volume escalation of about 49 lakh shares. This is 36 times the 5-day average. You have an equally sharp move on the other side, in fact much more. Disappointing set of numbers by Natco Pharma, 975 for you, down 20%. Erosion in sales, a move towards losses in the third quarter, and that's resulted in a very sharp sell-off. It started early morning, the counter was down 15% in early trades and then went down all the way to 20. But strong set of earnings coming into Suven Pharma, the market appreciating it, 7% higher, 1123, 11 times the 5-day average. Apart from that, you have Bayer Crop Science, IPCA, SBI Cards, Jubilant Foods in the whole list of stocks that is coming into the market as far as volumes are concerned. What we'll also do at the moment is look at the small cap side of the market, and that is also buzzing with a lot of activity. Within the small cap index and the mid cap index, let's look at the mid cap 100 first. As I mentioned, Muthoot Finance is the top performing stock. Like I said, it is at a record high at a time when barely you see any kind of up move happening across the board. So keep an eye out on Muthoot Finance, 6% higher, 2,313. What else is on the move here? You have a strong move coming into it's only mostly pharma shares that are in top shape. You have a strong move coming into APL Apollo as well, 2.6% higher, 1375. Let's now look at two stocks from the PSU space. You have SGVN at day's high, 3% higher, the price is 93 rupees, and NHPC 75.5, up 1.97. The first resistance has broken out on NHPC, and of course you have an intraday high that is coming into SGVN. But the focus for the day, ladies and gentlemen, is Ashok Leyland. This is the quality stock that we have on our radar, and I'll request the PCR to start with a long-term chart of Ashok Leyland. In the month of January, what you will see is that there was a lot of accumulation that had happened into Ashok Leyland. Remember, we are focusing on quality stocks, so that this is a space that you would need to watch for the long term of your portfolio, and Ashok Leyland fits the bill completely. The reasons for choosing Ashok Leyland are fairly simple, but let me just give you a disclaimer up front. This discussion on any stock is not an invitation to buy or sell this share. Please consult your financial advisor before you take a position on either side, long or short. However, our objective is to highlight those shares which are available at attractive prices, in which institutions have been seen buying at least temporarily, and movement from here on of course will depend upon how the company performs. But for the moment, it seems that stocks such as Ashok Leyland, or the earlier ones that we highlighted, which is Muthoot Finance, Lupin, Natco, Naveen Fluorine, and of course Apollo Hospitals and Aisha Motors, are the ones that are seeing piecemeal buying. Again, one more disclaimer: I have zero trading positions in the stocks that are being discussed. So these are pure research efforts by Business Today and need to be watched as such. Let's get back to Ashok Leyland. In the month of January alone, mutual funds have added a net 89 lakh shares of Ashok Leyland in the past month. If you see the chart, the stock from 2nd January onwards slipped towards its 200-day DMA, went flat out till end of January, and then came the earnings. The two major funds that have added Ashok Leyland to their assets are HDFC FlexiCap and Kotak Multicap Fund. These are amongst the prominent net buyers of Ashok Leyland in the last month or so. Now let's look at the numbers. For the quarter gone by, the sales rose 8% to 11,995 crore rupees. They were up both year on year as well as sequentially. If you look at the net profit, it appreciated 38% to 820 crores versus 609 crores a year earlier and 767 crores in the second quarter. So it is in this kind of an environment where you see slowing economy, a very nice uptick that has happened on both year on year as well as quarterly sales. Let's dig a little deeper into Ashok Leyland. What I need to show you is this stock has been a relative outperformer versus the Sensex. If you see the 1 year, 3 year, 5 year and 10 year performance. The chart is right there in front of you. In the last 1 year, the stock has appreciated 29% versus the 8% appreciation on the Sensex. Similarly, in the last 3 years, each year Ashok Leyland has given a return of 18.5%. In the last 5 years, it has given a return of 22% over the last CAGR return. This is handsomely outperforming both the Sensex as well as the BSE Consumer Durables Index. A couple of things that I'd also like to point out is that at a price earnings multiple of about 22.76 and a price to book of just about 5.7, if you compare Ashok Leyland with its own performance in the last 5 years, the price earnings multiple is 22.7. As I had said, it is way below its 5-year median of 29.5. So that's how you look at how quality stocks which are off 52-week highs. Let me tell you what the 52-week high was, 264. That is what is available now at 221. A lot of accumulation has happened by mutual funds in the last 1 month or so, and now the earnings have come up. So please keep all this data in mind when you look at Ashok Leyland. Again, I'll repeat the disclaimers. This is not an invitation to buy the counter. This is just a collection of data that we keep on regularly highlighting on Business Today television. This is also the right time to take an opinion from Swati Hotkar, Assistant Vice President for Technical Research at Nirmal Bang Securities. Namaste Swati ji, and a very warm welcome to you. Weekly expiry on the Nifty seems it's flattening out after a sustained rally since 22,786. Before we get into the general market, would you want to comment on Ashok Leyland?
Yes, Shalji. Ashok Leyland, as of now, if we look on the technical front, this particular stock has tried to maintain a trading above the 50 days moving average. We have seen on intraday basis a quite good momentum towards 200-day as well. But somehow it's not able to maintain the positive closing above the same levels, which comes to nearby 215, 216 level. It's struggling besides that level itself. But the 2 days closing will play an important role. If it's to maintain a positive closing above the same levels, at least for 1 to 2 trading session, that such kind of a positive momentum is likely to be continue in the coming few trading sessions, which might take a counter towards to 230 levels, which are the previous swing resistance levels. So those who are having any long position, they can hold on, try to maintain this fixed stop loss on the downside by 210 levels. That is acting as a very strong support level. So as long as it sustains about that level, we expect a rally to be continued on the positive side towards to 230 levels.
Okay, that is the view that is coming in on Ashok Leyland. Swati, how about the Nifty? Is the worst over? We've had a continuous decline. We are now at almost again testing June lows. Are you looking at worse levels on the Nifty, or are there chances of rebound from current levels?
Ji, from the last few weeks, I'm continuously emphasizing that my view is cautious to negative since we are not getting any strong sign of a reversal from the lower levels. Nifty is continuously trading in the formations of the low tops, low bottom formation from the month of the last year, October itself, and it's very well placed in the downward sloping channels. On a higher side, 23,600 will act as a crucial resistance level. Few days back, we have seen that the Nifty try to managed to test the resistance of average resistance of 50 days moving average, which comes to around 23,800 levels. But from the higher levels, we have again witnessed the profit bookings, which gives the indication that on every rise, we are witnessing some sort of a profit bookings and manages Nifty to drag on the low side as such. Now the support is placed at around 22,800. So as long as it sustains about that level, we can hope for the bounce back rally since we have already seen a sharp sell off into the Nifty as well as a bank Nifty side. So the immediate support is 22,800. If it fails to respect that there, more selling pressure or the weak sentiments will take into the place and which might drag a Nifty towards to 22,600 to 400 levels. So my view is a little bit cautious only as long as Nifty sustains about 23,600 levels. But I believe that one should definitely concentrate more into the stock specific trading because there are quality of stocks which have bitten down and we those who are looking for a long term portfolio management services, they can just enter into the quality stocks with the good strict stop losses. So that will be the exact strategy one should follow rather than keeping an eye on the Nifty or the bank Nifty, which will going to be volatile in coming at least for a month or two or so. So as long as the Nifty trades below the mentioned resistance level, my view will be a cautious to negative on the Nifty.
Okay. Lots of hectic activities, Swati, happening on the pharma space. Post results, Suven Pharma is up about 4.5%, and post results, Natco Pharma is down 20%. Similarly, you see a lot of activity in Sun Pharma, Cipla, JB Chemicals, Lupin in particular post earnings. According to Nirmal Bank research, what is the best pharma stock at current levels, both technically, which I'm sure you are more than adequately uh, responsible for telling us, but if you can also share a fundamental call from Nirmal Bank Securities, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, on the technical front, I will be the right person to speak about it, but on the fundamental side, I won't be able to give the exact reasons behind that particular fundamental reasons on the particular stocks. But on the technical front, definitely two counters are on our radar as such. One is the Suven Pharma, and second one is one is the Cipla, and the second one is the Sun Pharma. Because in the Cipla, we are witnessing that the stock is really
Okay.
after a sharp sort of a correction from the month of the October from the last year. As of now, it is just entering into the consolidation phase. Stock has just got stuck up within the range of 1480 to 1440 levels on the downside. So I believe that this time consolidation will face and play a very important role. Uh, Also, the important fact that it is showing a positive crossover from the RSI front. So, Cipla is the one counter which can be act as a very good stock picks for the short term to long term period. As such, we are looking for a target of 1550 to 1600 levels on the upside. So, at least 20-30% can be accumulated at the current market price. If you're getting any dips towards to 1440 on the downside, you can definitely add on. So, this is the one counter we are looking a very strong on the technical front. Another one is the Sun Pharma. Today's rally, we have seen a very strong rally in the Sun Pharma. The stock is up by almost 3%. Interesting fact on this particular chart is that it has just surpasses the 200-day moving average and very well sustained above the mentioned levels, which comes to at around 1720. I believe today's price and the volumes are really going into hand. So whenever such kind of a momentum rally we witnessed into the market and it's remained intact till the end of the day, I believe it has a very strong potential to continue this such kind of a positive momentum towards to 1800 to 1840. So the Sun Pharma is also the one of the good counter one can take a long positions at the current market price.
Let's analyze Sun Pharma again. This is India's largest pharma company with about 50-55% of its top line coming in from the US. One reason why pharma stocks are also in an uptrend as a sector in totality is that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in United States. The US is the biggest importer of generic pharma drugs. About 50-60% of revenue of top 5 pharma companies comes from the US, and the US about 3 weeks ago had said that it will employ tariffs on all those companies who sell or export their products to the US but do not manufacture there. And that was the reason why you saw a very sharp sell off coming into many pharma companies. Now that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is meeting President Donald Trump, there is expectation that a good deal might be struck, and that's the reason why you see an enthusiastic response on pharma companies across the board. Let's look at Sun Pharma. As Swati was mentioning, this is a very smart bounce. You see 53 rupees in today's trade, and the volume is also fairly substantial. It's crossed yesterday's volume. Today about 25 lakh shares of Sun Pharma have been traded. The all-time high has been 1955 that we saw in September, and now at about 1746. There is the possibility of a swing trade in the making. So Swati, we've discussed the bank Nifty as well as the pharma stocks that you like. Any two calls that make sense at current levels, maybe long, maybe short, whatever you prefer?
Yes, Shelji. Two counters are there which I am looking for a long positions. One is the Belcorp. This particular counter is well placed above all the important moving averages, say 50, 100, 200 DMA, and it is very constantly trading in the pattern of the high tops, high bottom formations. Even though the market has shown a very strong correction, but this particular stock has managed to maintain a strong hold of 200 DMA. And from there onwards, we have seen a very strong bounce back rally towards to above all the important moving averages. We have already initiated a buy call for the clients as well. So this is the one of the disclaimer I would like to suggest. Upside, we are looking for a target of 840 to 850. Currently, the counter is trading at the 790 level. So one can go for a long position at the current market price as well by keeping a strict stop loss of a 770 for a target of 840. Another counter is the SBI Life. This particular stock, if you looks on the weekly chart, from the month of the September, the stock is continuously showing a sign of the retracements, and which has dragged the counter from 1900 to almost 1400. So after such kind of a correction, the stock is just went into consolidation phase. It's a rather than the price correction, we are witnessing the time correction as of now, consolidating within the range of a 1440 to 1480. I believe very soon we are like to see the breakout on the higher level. So I'm preempting the breakout at the current market price as the risk reward ratio is really favorable. So one can go for a long positions at the CMP 1470 is the currently rate is going on. By keeping a strict stop loss of 1440, go for a long positions for immediate target of 1530, then 1540 levels on the ISI. So these are the two counters are really radar on the Nirmal Bang securities.
Right, Swati, we'll keep an eye out on SBI Life. Remember, in the budget, the government has allowed 100% foreign direct investment in insurance companies. That was supposed to act as a sentimental kicker on the entire sector, but given the overall weakness that the market has experienced over the last 1 week or so, maybe much earlier, you haven't seen that creating a very positive effect on the companies. Nevertheless, SBI Life is what Swati likes. What we'll do, ladies and gentlemen, is a very quick break, but on the other side of the break, we'll have a lot of BTST calls, as also a view on what to do tomorrow, which is a fresh weekly start on the Nifty. Stay tuned.
Karnataka has established itself as the leading hub for electronic system design and manufacturing in India, contributing 10% to the nation's electronics output. We are also home to 400 plus MNCs with global R&D centers. With over 100 fabulous chip design houses and 40% national share in electronic design, Karnataka stands as a prominent hub for chip innovation in India. Invest Karnataka 2025 will bring more global players to benefit from the state's strong and tech-enabled ecosystem.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was a short but sweet break. Let's again focus on what the market is trying to tell us. For the moment, the enthusiasm that we were seeing yesterday seems to have split out of the system. A bit of weakness all around. All major indices are now in the red. Look at the Nifty Bank, 99 points lower. The IT index has shed 408 points, down about 1%. The Nifty, as I had mentioned earlier, is flat. Let's look at the broader markets as well. What are the NSE 500 doing? That's the broadest measure that we look at, and it's flat as flat can be, 20,905. Like I had said, the pharma index has been the top performer today, 1.36% higher, 21,428. What is showing signs of profit booking or further sales is the Nifty PSU banking index. At 6,000, it's down about 1%. The Nifty FMCG index is down about 1%, and smaller losses are seen on the small cap 100 index, the mid cap select 100 index as well. Stocks worth noting today are Muthoot Finance. Let's get Swati into the conversation and try and take her view on Muthoot Finance. A very strong show in quarterly earnings, the stock at a record high, Swati, against the backdrop of a general weakness in the market. Is this a fresh rally that is beginning on Muthoot Finance? Now it's up 6%, 910 crores are traded. What is your view at 2317?
As you rightly pointed out, the counter is trading at the all-time high levels. Today, we have seen a very strong breakouts with the very good volumes. So I believe that it has a very strong potential to reach up to 2400 to 2440. So that is the exactly targets I'm looking for the short-term period as such. Long positions, fresh long positions should be avoided at the current market value because already the counter is up by 6.5%. If you are getting any dips towards 2280, 2270 levels, that levels are very attractive. Risk reward ratio will be favorable at that point of period of time. 2220 will act as a crucial support level. So as long as sold that level, my view is definitely positive. I'm looking for more 100 points upside from the year onwards. So one should hold their long positions for a target of 2400 points.
चलिए, ये बात आपको मुथूट फाइनेंस पर पता चली. One more interesting stock that is in top shape today is Finolex Cables, now up about 14%. It's also coming up after a massive sell-off, which saw the stock move down from 1300 rupee levels to what is 990 now. Swati, a view on Finolex Cables?
I think no wonder today it has given a very strong pullback rally from the intraday lows of 865 towards 2000 levels. But I don't believe this kind of a pullback rally is likely to be sustained or not. We like to witness one or two more trading sessions whether the stocks manages to hold this kind of a strength in the coming one to two trading sessions. The volumes are really high. If we look towards the past history, this is the highest volume since we have witnessed from the last year September. Upside, we can say that such kind of a rally can be extended up to 1080, that are the previous swings resistance levels. So up to that level, one can hold the long positions. Downside, it has a very good support of 980, supported by the previous swing lows. So those who are heavy having any long position, they can hold on. Fresh long position should be avoided at the current market price. 1080 is the first target. Beyond that level, 1150 can be seen. So definitely, this such kind of rally can be played for the short targets as such, but not to create the long positions.
3:21, 9 minutes left for the market to wrap up. Swati, what have been your key observations on this weekly expiry? Anything that catches your fancy within the Nifty in terms of stock futures? Anything outside the Nifty in the F&O space which is of importance to you?
If we look towards the stock specific, JSW is really looking very attractive on the technical front. Why, Shalji? Because on the daily chart, it has just formed the rounding bottom formations, or even we can say that it's forming the inverse head and shoulder formations on the daily charts. The neckline comes to it around 980, 990 levels. Up to that level is the neck holder. It's tried to test it that levels two times, but this particular counter is well placed about a 20 days moving average, which comes to at around 960 levels. So one can hold or create a long positions at the current market price, keeping into mind that in the coming few trading sessions, this stock is likely to give the breakout of 985 levels on the closing basis and will extend this rally towards 2020, 2040 levels on the high side. So those who are looking for a trading perspective, one can bet on the JSW sale at the current market price by maintaining a stop loss of a 940 on a downside for an immediate target of 1020, then 1040. So this is the counter I'm keeping an eye on this particular stock for the coming few trading sessions.
And it's interesting that you point out JSW Steel. This is not the only metals counter which is in top form. Metals as an index is also in the green. You have Steel Authority 3.5% higher at about 109.84. You've already pointed out JSW Steel. Tata Steel is up 3%. This is all the steel part of the F&O space doing very well. APL Apollo 2.5% higher. Other metal stocks such as National Aluminium are also in the green, as is the copper stock in the copper 0.6% higher. Let me just try and find out what else is catching my interest. Okay. The NBFC space is abuzz with gains. We've discussed Muthoot Finance, but Cholamandam Finance is 2.6% higher, 1389. You have Bajaj Finance 2% higher. Poonawalla FinCorp is also moving to 2.5% higher. So it's a sectoral uptrend that we are observing in the Fin Nifty space. We've discussed Muthoot Finance here, Swati. Amongst the other NBFCs, is there anything that you prefer?
Yes, sir. The Chola Finance really looks good. So if we don't want to consider the Muthoot Finance is also one of the very good counter. But apart from that, Chola Finance is really doing very well from the last few trading sessions. Almost after few months of at least after the 6 to 7 months, the counter is came up to the above the 200-day moving average, and it's well placed above that levels. It has shown the positive divergence from the last few trading sessions on the RSI front. So whenever such kind of formations we witnessed into the daily or the weekly chart, it confirms the strength of this particular counter. Even though the market was showing the correction, but this particular pack or the sector is was really doing very well from the last one weekend. So I believe that the stock is plan, means it's just likely to witness very strong breakout, which comes to around 1420 levels. So any move above that level will trigger a fresh sort of a buying, which might take a counter towards to 1480 to 1500 levels. So that is the target I'm looking for. So one can hold their long positions or even can initiate a long positions at the current market price for a target of 1440, then 1480 levels can be seen.
Okay, what is really interesting is that the Bajaj Finance is moving towards record highs. Remember, all leading NBFCs are doing fully well. India's top gold finance company, Muthoot Finance, at a record high. India's top NBFC lender, Bajaj Finance, moving towards it. Similarly, you have moves coming into quality mid caps such as Shriram Finance, to some extent, even Poonawalla FinCorp. Your view on Bajaj Finance here, Swati? What is clicking here?
The Bajaj Finance is really doing very well from the last few years, and so even though this particular counter is in the formations of the high tops, high bottom formations, the interesting point we have witnessed at the end of the 2024 is that the stock has given a very strong breakout of a symmetrical triangle on the monthly chart. So whatever the positions we have seen in the last 6 months consolidation phase, that has been given a breakout with a very strong volumes. I believe that a fresh rally can be witnessed, and which might take a counter towards to 9,000 or plus, or probably very soon into the 5 digit as well. So definitely this counter is really looking very strong
Kya
on
baat?
the last degree. Yes, so one can hold their long positions. Fresh, I will not recommend it because it has already given a very strong rally from 7,200 to 8,600 levels. Let the stock, if find any retracement towards to 7,700 or 7,500 in the coming near futures, then one can go for a long position, because the past history shows that this particular counter test is 200-day moving average, and again it's making a new high on the higher levels. So as of now, if you get an opportunity on every dips towards to 7,700, one can definitely grab it, and looking for a longer term targets of 9,000, then thereafter 10,000 levels can be also seen very soon.
Okay, just 3 minutes left. Let me just end the show on a positive note. Let me highlight stocks that have moved up on substantial volume. Some Swati and I have already discussed, but there is no harm in repeating good news. Okay, Honasa, this is the beauty healthcare company which came up with a disastrous set of numbers, but after a very sharp sell-off, there is buying again resurfacing, 11% higher, 228. A fresh high on Reddington. This is also a stock that we needed to discuss maybe tomorrow. 7% higher, 245. We've marked Muthoot Finance already. Swiggy, 5% higher, 5.7% higher, 361. SBI card is something that it's been highlighted by Swati. Jubilant Foodworks, the maker of Domino Pizza, is up 3.5% at 664. Steel Authority, Tata Steel, is what we've already discussed. One more stock moving up with strong gains is Amber Enterprises. This is the EMS space for the PLI scheme that is also doing very well. The others are Power Finance Corporation, Cholamandalam Finance, both up 2.5-3%. This is the NBFC space that is doing very well. 2 minutes left, Swati. Your final comments before we wrap up the show. What about tomorrow? What do you think will happen?
Yes, tomorrow, looking towards that Nifty setups and the today's closing, my view will remain constant on the lower side as of now. We are likely to again test 22,800 on the downside. So try to avoid the major long positions on the Nifty front as such, as long as it doesn't give the any breakout of 23,440 levels provided by the golden ratio of the retracements, which comes to around 61.8%. So try to be a light light. One should not create a major long position into the Nifty, but avoid, if you're getting any dips towards 22,800 and so, then we can definitely review once again, and then we can go for a long positions, but not at the, probably in coming 1 to 2 days, we are likely to witness more selling pressure into the Nifty or the Bank Nifty as such.
Right, 329. Swati, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure listening to your views. And of course, we'll keep the target of Bajaj Finance into 5 digits that you mentioned right on our radar. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Madam.
That was Swati Hotkar, Assistant Vice President at Nirmal Bank Securities, talking to us on market today. 3:29, ladies and gentlemen, we'll just wrap it up on the show. Flat trade on the Nifty. The bounce was sold into. It's the weekly expiry of the Nifty today, which passed off calmly, but whatever were the gains were taken back by the market. So a high of 23,325, which was sold into. The index closed flat at 23,019, down 25. Performances by good companies was rewarded very well, in particular Muthoot Finance, which ended at a record high thanks to a sterling set of numbers that came in, and of course news driven Kotak. The RBI allows this private sector bank to resume its credit card business and start attracting customers on the online side. Thank you so much for watching. Remain glued to Business Today Television. There's a lot that's happening on the other side of the break.
Invest Karnataka 2025 is our chance to showcase Karnataka's best to the world. The business community, startups, academia, and even youngsters, I invite everyone to be part of this mega platform. From February 11th to 14th, let the world witness why Karnataka is the best destination to invest.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is the earnings special edition. Our focus will be on Lupin's Q3 FY25 earnings. The company has posted a consolidated net profit of 858.9 crores in Q3. That marks a 38.8% increase over last year's same quarter. Even the revenues have